Hi guys, welcome back. This is the fourth video in my 4-video series, Painting Belfire's Companions, where I'm painting miniatures for my players of their characters in the campaign I'm running in Dungeons & Dragons. If you haven't checked out the first 3 videos, give them a watch. Yeldrin Ezernith, the Elven Cleric, Groto the Crusher of Skulls, the Dwarf Fighter, and Aquae, the Elvish Rogue. Those were all really fun paint jobs. But today we have our 4th and final character, Aldor Elderon, the Human Wizard. I did have to take these guys out of the package before I filmed this because the spell part on this one was broken off and I wanted to super glue it and make sure it was nice and dry before I painted. These miniatures come from Nolzur's Marvelous Minis, and for what I'm doing for the purpose of this project, I think they're great because they come with 2 miniatures in each pack. The packs are only $5 or $6 each. And this way I can paint the miniatures up, let my players pick their favorite one, and they can keep that, and I can also keep one, so that way if I have to simulate encounters on dungeon tiles, I can have a miniature with me and I can stream that over the camera for everybody to see, because we do play predominantly over Discord with a video chat. We're just meeting up for our first ever in-person session. I got all my players to write me a description of their characters and send it to me, and they have no idea why. And I'm going to use those descriptions to base the color scheme that I'm going to paint this off of. And then when I'm done painting the minis, I'm going to match them up to a colored set of dice I have, so they can each have a mini of their character and their own set of die to roll with. It's going to be lots of fun. Aldor Elderon, however, unlike the other 3 in our group, Belfire's Companions, we do not know a whole lot about his backstory. He's very, very secretive. When he's dungeon crawling or talking about to people, he does every once in a while mention that he's, oh, that's something I picked up studying at this academy, or, oh, I remember reading about that here or there. So he's very secretive about his background, but it is kind of fun having him in the campaign so we can kind of learn about his backstory as we go through, almost like we're trying to pry the secrets of his past out of him. He's a pretty powerful wizard spellcaster. It's lots of fun to have him in the game we're running. But yeah, this is the final one. We're gonna get this guy painted up, and then at the end we're gonna do a reveal where you can see the whole party together with their colored dice. Let's go, let's get painting. Okay, so you can see that there's already a bit of paint on here that I've wiped off, because Aldor's first descriptive feature we're gonna do is a light gray teal robe, and I wanted to try mixing the color first before I applied it, because it seems like a very specific color. And although I made quite a few mixtures, they kept turning out more aquamarine kinda, as you can see, but I finally think I figured out the right mixture. Some light blue and some underdark gray. So we can get this guy painted up. I wiped off most of the other paint, and it shouldn't, I don't think, be an issue obscuring the details because it's so thin. So to kind of follow along with that color scheme, I think I'm going to do a little bit of Kraken blue on some of the other garments that aren't the cloak. I don't really like that blue. I'll try some gray over top. It might actually look good over top of the cloak as well. Really thinned out. And dry brush it on. Ah, yes. A thin layer of gray over top. I'm just kind of somewhat dry brushing with a little bit of extra paint over top. Like a heavy dry brush over top of that teal color to kind of get it a little bit more in the gray zone. Look more like a standard kind of wizard garb. Might have to do another layer of each on there, but I think that looks pretty neat. It is still a bit thin. So we're gonna focus on some of the other stuff. We'll give him boots and whatnot. So we're gonna do some leather boots, some leather straps, because he does have a brown belt and a brown bag where he keeps his stuff, a satchel. So we're gonna give him our standard leather treatment. So I'm trying to clean up this mess I made by not being able to figure out my colors. Okay, so to get some more color on here to help me distinguish the color patterns I'm gonna do, we're gonna do his skin color. He's pale, so I've mixed some flump pink with some lawful white to get a kind of paler skin tone. We'll do his hands and his face with this. Oh, this broke off again, so I'm gonna have to glue it after the fact. I think I was just holding on to it too tight while I was trying to focus on painting. It's a non-issue, we'll get her fixed up. And even though I know it's gonna get wrecked with all the holding and painting, I'm gonna do his white hair and his white facial hair. I think he's only supposed to have a mustache. But I'm just gonna make a series of different browns and tans using some angelic yellow, some lawful white, some bugbear brown, some rigid leather, and I'm just gonna make and a little bit of fluff pink. I'm just gonna make a variation of browns to do a bunch of his like little bags and other little assorted things. What I really need to do is figure out what color to make his shirt. I'm gonna do a gray shirt. So I've mixed a little bit of underdark gray with a little bit of gray primer. I think we're gonna try giving him a gray shirt. I'll paint his scrolls white. So I'm going to dry brush a little bit of the gray onto here. See? That kind of brings out the detail, makes it a little bit of a neater color. Picks out some of those details, and then we don't have to worry as much about what we're doing. I picked some different browns for all these little bags and some yellows. We got our straps. Now we just need a bit of silver for the sword. And on this guy, we still got to paint all his pouches and whatnot and his straps. Use a little bit of angelic yellow to dry brush on some highlights in here once that dries. So we'll move on to the sword. A little bit of mithril silver. Aldor's spellcasting focus. It's an emerald amulet set in gold. So we're going to pop a little bit of green onto this clasp of his cloak. I'm gonna help simulate that. Add a bit of mithril silver in here because he's got some weird stuff. A little bit there. Okay, we're gonna do Dragonfire Red for one spell. The hand-to-hand. So it'll look kind of like maybe he's casting Burning Hands or something to that effect. We're just firing off a quick cantrip here. This guy comes with a removable spell. I thought about gluing it on, but I think I'm gonna leave it removable option. And this one I'm gonna paint light bluish, kind of like. I don't really have a reason for that. I just think it'll look cool. So we're gonna go with the Xanthar blue. And for the removable thing, I'm gonna leave this whole part clear and just do, well, let's just do the sword first. See kind of what that looks like. Yeah, it just kind of looks like he's controlling this magic ice sword or something to that effect. For the base, I'm gonna start off with primer gray. Yeah, I'm gonna go gray for the base. I'll try and make it look like he's on stone, maybe. Okay, we're moving on to super gluing to the base. We're getting close to the end on this. And our favorite part, as always, the wash. Now you just gotta wait and we'll see the final reveal and the whole party together. Final reveal, Aldor Elderon, Aquae Furtave, Yeldrin Ezraneth, Robe the Skull Crusher. This is Belfire's companions. Their matching die set. I'm ready for tomorrow for our first in-person session. Let's go. This was a super fun project, painting minis for my players' characters. As a dungeon master, I think this is a really cool thing, and matching the dice set to them. I happen to have a whole bunch of different colored dice sets, so I hope they match pretty well. It's going to be a fun first in-person session. Aldor Elderon, the guy who painted this video, I found this to be probably like not the most challenging paint job I've done on a miniature so far, but I just couldn't get the colors right. I couldn't figure out what the color scheme was. It took me a while to get really settled into it. I hope his player doesn't think I went too far off his description. I tried to keep it pretty close, but too much gray and brown just made it look really muddled, and adding more color to it just got me way too far off. In the end, I do think he turned out looking pretty cool. So we'll see how they feel, and if you liked what you see or you have any tips or tricks for me, hit the comments, leave me a comment, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because we got lots of other fun stuff going on. And once again, if you liked this, check out the other videos in this mini series, painting Belfire's companions. Take care, guys. I'll see you for the next project.